selected a page style in the application wizard, what you are really doing is selecting from one of 26 different style sheets that IronSpeed Designer has. And in fact, you can go back to the application wizard anytime you want and select a different page style, which is really just selecting a different style sheet. Now, interestingly, about 95% of your app's look and feel is controlled by the style sheet. All the font color, line, all of those little bits of your application are controlled by the style sheet. Now, when you look in your style sheet, you'll find that there are probably over 100 different classes that give you a lot of control over every little nuance of your generated application page. There are classes for each portion of a panel, like the header in the panel, the filter section, the table grid, the cells within the grid, whether it's a field value cell, a label value cell, and so forth, the different parts of a menu control. All manner of things can be controlled via the style sheet. You'll find the style sheets are in the App Themes folder in your generated application. Okay? And there are typically 2 style sheets for your page style that you selected, or your app theme. Now, one of them is called Base Styles, and the other is called Styles. If you look, you'll find all of the style sheet definitions in basestyles.css. But I'm going to ask you to put your style sheet modifications in styles.css. Both of those style sheets are included in your generated application pages, but styles takes precedence or overrides base styles, hence the cascading nature of the style sheet. Now, why don't you modify base styles directly? Well, very simply, if you go in and upgrade from one version of IronSpeed Designer to another, IronSpeed will copy a fresh copy of base styles into your application, because we will have been busy here adding new styles to the style sheet and probably changing some things. So that would overwrite any modifications you made to base styles. But your styles in styles.css are preserved. We guarantee not to touch those. So those are safe, and those will always override any changes we might make in base styles. Moreover, if you switch page styles from one to the other and then back again, each time we will copy a new base styles into your application. And when we do, again, you're going to overwrite any changes that might have been made to base styles. So put your changes in styles. That's a safe place. Now, let's go in and do an example of this. I'm going to modify the dialog header text record. It's kind of a chewy name, or DHTR for short. The DHTR controls the header in a panel. So, for example, the customer's text, this font and all of those properties are governed by DHTR. To modify that, I'm going to go to my App Themes folder here. I'll go into McKinley, and I'm going to go to Base Styles and find DHTR. So I'll just do a Control F here. I'll search for DHTR, and there we have it. Okay, I'm going to select that now, and I'm going to follow my preaching and copy that into Styles, which is initially empty except for this long comment that explains how to use it. So I'm going to paste in the DHTR class. As you can see, it's a fairly simple, straightforward class. It's got color, font size, and so forth. So to illustrate this, I'm going to change from 14 points to 40 points. So I'll make it big and bold. I could delete these other attributes if I wanted to. That way they would inherit from the class that's in base styles. I'll just leave that alone for the moment. And now we'll go back to our Show Customers page. Let me refresh the browser here. And there you have it. You can see I'm a fan of big fonts. So here's Customers, kind of big and bold, 40 point. And in fact, if we go look at some other pages, for example, if I were to go here and go look at a Show Customer Order, sorry, a Show Orders table page, you'll notice that that's been globally manifested throughout my entire application. And as I just click around from page to page, you'll see that the font is the same. Okay, let me stop